Mohawk Valley Phenomenon here. Just giving you guys another update. I have a very interesting story for y'all tonight. This is a little bit of a different subject than what's been going on. Jessica's toothache is still kind of bothering her, so it's getting better. She took the antibiotics the other day and she's feeling a little bit better, so hopefully by tomorrow she feels good enough. We'll be down at the location. It's a little different from the last one, but it's very close by there in the incident that happened to her. So what I'm going to do is we're going to touch base on a flight accident that's still unexplained to this day. And it is called Night Ship 282. And if you Google that, you look it up, you'll get some information on it. It's a little harder to find on YouTube. They kind of shadow ban this stuff, and it's a little tough there. And they always, doing this shadow banning and burying the UFO topic. Well, I've seen a few out here myself. I have some on video. I have some on pictures. You guys have seen that before. And I'm just going to pick this story up right from here. And this comes from the NTSB, and it's called NTSB, Collision with Unknown Object Killed Mobile Pilot. What in the world hit Night Ship 282, a Cessna 208B cargo master, flying over southern Alabama? In a report some observers say is unprecedented. The NTSB admits the aircraft collided with something, but no one knows who investigated the case seems to know just what. Thomas J. Prezios, a former New York Police Department pilot, flight instructor, and freight hauler, had just departed Mobile's downtown airport at about 7:40 p.m. CDT on October 23, 2002. He was flying freight, 420 pounds of business documents, to Montgomery, Alabama. About 5 minutes into his flight, this exchange took place between Prevost and Mobile Approach. And I'm going to play this transmission for you guys. I'm going to get up close to the camera so the mic can hear this. I did actually just record it on my phone. I still don't have the editing tools to put it on the video itself, but let's hope you guys can hear this pretty good. And I'm just going to hit play right next to the mic here. So listen up. This is the exchange between the towers and what happened with the plane there.
Ship 282 traffic at 12 o'clock, 7 miles southbound, headed DC 10 4000. Ship 2 is looking at YMC. Right. The air traffic controller now is saying that there's a heavy, meaning a DC 10, anything over 300,000 pounds, that is 7 miles ahead of him, but there's nothing to really be concerned about. The conditions are IMC, and what that stands for is Instrument Meteorological Conditions. Reduced visibility. Could weather conditions cause the crash? Haynes doesn't think so. Any pilot that is instrument rated is trained to deal with that sort of situation. It's not unusual at all. Ship 282 is still IMC, but that DC-10 is 1 o'clock and 2 miles south down at 4,000. Now we have the air traffic controller telling the pilot that DC-10 is only 2 miles ahead of him, and his job is to keep those airplanes apart. Roger, I got above me right now. The pilot has told the tower he's broken out of the clouds, and he can see this DC-10 flying above. What we're going to hear next is the final transmission between the pilot and the ground. I need a DVA. This is difficult to listen to because there is such emotion in this pilot's voice. What was he responding to? Was it the DC-10 or was it something else?
You know, you heard the fear in that man's voice. He was really, really scared there. He definitely saw something coming towards his plane. Not just towards his plane, maybe he was flying something, he was flying into something, but it was very, very compelling audio from the black box and from the tower there that when he was flying. He obviously hit something. From what I understand, they found his plane wreckage through the swamps of Mobile, Alabama, stretched over 2 miles. When a plane crashes into the ground, it just crashes and it's there. Everything's there. They found the wreckage of this plane spread out over 2 miles. That DC-10 actually landed the heavy flight that was going through there. They had people inspect that whole FedEx plane. It was a FedEx plane. There were no marks in it at all. And from radar reports, it was far enough away to where it shouldn't have been a problem at all. They found a bunch of marks all over his plane. And I'm going to get into that now. I'm going to try and find this. So it says, what about the DC-10? The picture is fuzzy, compounded by the fact that the radar coverage was limited because of an equipment problem. The radar data available was a snapshot taken from the equipment at Mobile, I'm sorry, I shouldn't be saying Mobile Regional Departure Control and NTAP data at Atlanta Center. According to the report, the data shows that night shift 282 was 3,000 feet and the DC-10 was at 4,000 feet. The two airplanes never crossed paths. According to the snapshot, the DC-10 was to the left of night shift 282. There were no known witnesses to the accident. The same FedEx DC-10 was given a walk-around inspection the next day. There was no sign of damage. So what about the UAV? Brizios was flying south of Mobile, not far from where the military tests UAVs at both Tyndall Air Force Base and Eglin Air Force Base, Florida. Could a drone have wandered into its way? There's definitely no chance that that particular incident involved one of our drones, said First Lieutenant Sage Park at Tyndall's 53rd Air Wing, responding to Register's questions. A spokesman from Eglin said virtually the same thing, but something definitely hit the Cargo Master head on. 208 was shattered with mysterious red marks on several different parts of the aircraft. And they go on through this to say how they found everything spread out. You know, this aircraft was found. But to go on more about these red marks, the red marks showed a definite direction of transfer, but varied in that direction, as if the Cargo Master and whatever hit it changed aspect during collision. There were clues found during the NTSB investigation to indicate just what hit night shift 282. There was a small piece of what appeared to be black anodized aluminum, said the report, which was found embedded in the left wing dry bay panel at the wing root between the spars. The origin of the metal remains unknown, and it is not believed to have come from the accident airplane. The impact of the collision all but vaporized the 282's engine. The NTSB report said only the power section and part of the gas generator was recovered. This is going to go in on the destruction of this aircraft. And from what I can tell, I'll do a little follow-up here with the NTSB here, where I'm just going to continue this, and I want to talk more about those red marks on that plane. So what was it? Could the Cessna have been destroyed by wake turbulence caused by the passing DC-10? Brizios' family apparently thinks so. They have hired a lawyer to represent them in the case, but that certainly wouldn't explain those mysterious red marks, nor force and impact that the NTSB report says occurred in the air. That's directly from the NTSB. There's no wake turbulence that's going to leave red marks on your plane. If it wasn't a wandering UAV, then what? Some familiar with the investigation suggest it might have been a drug smuggler. There is active drug smuggling in Alabama, yes, by air. said Mobile's resident DA agent Sam Houston. Back at Mid-Atlantic Freight, Godwin is skeptical. It's very hard to believe that in the United States, with terrorism being what it is, that there's no record of any aircraft moving in our space out there, he told the Register. And not only that, if it was a drug smuggler and you fly your plane into it and your engine disintegrates, whatever you're flying in is coming down to. You're not getting away with just hitting something and it crashes to the ground. And not only that, I did a little more research, and a lot of this debris and the paint transfers on the plane were sent to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. They had people analyze the aluminum, and they had people analyze the paint. The paint, as far as the FBI is concerned, the FBI got involved in this too. DuPont, the paint company DuPont, they keep for the FBI every paint code in the world, because there are accidents that happen across America, happen across the world, and they need to know what paint transfer comes from where. So if I'm driving a car down the street and a Russian car hits mine, DuPont can figure that out for the FBI. They have the paint codes. They're everywhere. They have that information. When they analyzed that red paint transfer on that plane, it was unidentified in the world for the FBI investigation. You know, right along with that plane being disintegrated above the ground and it's stretching over 2 miles and just disintegrated. Not only that, is the pilot's words, him saying, "I should have deviated." You can just hear that fear in his voice. It's a very compelling, as far as we know, UFO encounter, right? It's an unidentified flying object he hit. Maybe it was military. We just don't know. But it's very compelling. He obviously saw himself flying into this, or he saw it coming towards him. And it was not that DC-10. It was 1,000 feet to the left of him. You know what surprised me about this incident? Is I haven't really heard this talked about on any other channels. There's a lot of UFO channels out there. Nobody's ever brought this up. I'm surprised. You know, with all of the research done in it, the NTSB, the FBI doing the, the paint transfer, and that piece of aluminum also. They sent that to Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Well, people, where did everything go from the Roswell incident? Wright-Patterson Air Force Base. Do you think you'll ever get the truth out of that place? If it's mysterious, if it's something they don't want to talk about, we're not going to hear it. They're going to cover it up, or they'll just say it's unfounded. So with the piece of aluminum they found in the wing, it was an unknown metallurgic makeup. They couldn't even identify that Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, is what they told us. And that in itself is pretty compelling too. Today, and this happened in, this accident happened in 2002. You know, today would they come forward with this? We know the government's come out recently with UFO reports and things like that. They're going to keep the most regarded secrets to themselves, and we're always going to get, the back half of everything that's going on. Roswell happened, 70, 80 years ago, whatever it is. 1947 is when Roswell happened. It's pretty compelling stuff, people. This is going on. I think these phenomenons are related. People see UFOs disappear. People see Sasquatch disappear. People see ghosts disappear in front of them. There's obviously some correlation there, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. And, everyone has their own opinion, and everybody has a right to it, first off. And we should all be able to speak out about it. So, with this, the next video that comes out will be on location. It's going to be with what Jessica has experienced down there this last time, and the ultimate conclusion of that. And the only way I can say that this could come out to be any better is if I get a camera for the car. Put a camera in the car that's on all the time, every time you start the car and you drive, and it records everything. I really don't have the money to do that right now, so I'll be looking though. I'm really interested in catching this entity. So much is said, if my daughter's riding with her, to turn her phone on and just start recording through this one area. So let's hope for that. We're giving you the truth. We're giving you exactly what's happened here. I've talked to people in the area, and there's some more compelling evidence coming forward, not only of Jessica's, but some other people's encounters. Thank you all. I appreciate your time here. Thank you for subscribing, and I hope you all have a great night.